Hello everyone, it's me again. My name is Rafu and I'm 10 years old. Today I'm going to read my book, The First 4 Years, written by Laura Ingalls Wilder, illustrated by Garth Williams. Let's go. Rose said without a whimper, I want to go to bed, so I will go today. It's 50 pages as well, in 20 minutes. Let's go. One afternoon, just after Rose had been washed and combed and dressed in fresh, clean clothes, Laura heard shrieking with laughter. Go to the door, saw her running from the bar. Ooh, 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 Rose called. Wash the dishes like this. And down she rocked in the dusty path, and with arms and legs waving, rolled over and over on the ran. She was such a comical sight that Laura could only laugh too. Despite raking rest and dust on the face and the dust in her hair. Not that Laura missed her, but down with fear and eye and read the barn. The barn was standing down in his stall, and Rose sat on the side, kicking her ears against his stomach. 10 minutes old, I started to disturb his body. Rose raised his head and looked at Laura, and she was positive for a weak one eye. After that, Laura tried to watch Rose closer, but she couldn't bear to keep her in the house with spring so fresh and gay outside. The worst must be done between moments of looking at Rose through door and window. Once again, she was just in time to see Rose miss an accident by a narrow margin. She evidently got farther afield than usual, and was just coming back around the corner of the barn. Then Kelpie, Trixie's latest cat, kept running around the same corner with another cat chasing her. Kelpie saw Rose too late to turn, too late to stop, so she put on extra spring in the muscles and sailed over Rose's head. While Susan, the other cat, proving, as she always tried to, that she could do anything Kelpie did, followed behind, going neatly over Rose's head. So Laura was there and snatching Rose up, carried her to the house, and Rose did not be frightened. But Laura was, and she felt rather sick. How could she even keep up the daily work and still go through what was ahead? There was so much to be done, and only herself could do it. She hated the farm and stock and the smelly lamps and the cooking of food and the dirty dishes. Oh, she hated it all, and especially the debts that must be paid whenever she could work or not. Look, Mommy, the horses tell me over Rose. See, I don't know if it's Trippy or Flexi or whatever the horse is, but yeah, tell me right over Rose. So much silly. They're galloping, you know. But Rose had been hurt, and as she was watching a world to pizza on her pet's nest, Laura would do the same. She started as she go there and stay there and how about it. What is the in this story she read the artist. The wheel goes around and round and the fly on the top will be the fly on the bottom after a while. But she didn't care what became of the fly, but she did wish the bottom one would crawl up a little. She was sat waiting for the wheel to turn, and farmers were the ones at the bottom. She didn't care what way you said. The wheel was the rest and also where said anything or not must have been somehow to pay in interest, taxes, profits to businessmen in town on everything they bought, and they must budget to live. There was that note at the bank Mandy had to get the money to buy the grain for receiving outside the windstorm. He was paying 3% of that note. That's where the wood money would have to go. No one could be shut interest, I said, but they were all the summer saving before our harvest. Yes, but as he tried to figure out, was it any money to pay it. They share the whole money was only $135. And how much was that though? Bushel to the acres of seed wheat at $1 a bushel for the seed. $1 city acres of oats at 2 bushels to the acres of seed, 100 bushels. And 42 cents a bushel, and that would be $50 and 40 cents, $50.40 added to the $100 for the wheat. The number must be $150.40. Yo, that's a lot of money. As you could imagine, it's actually a lot in my country, but it's only 100. Wait. Yes, I want you to discover something. You know what it is? Wow. I'm looking at my cent. So silly. So it's 1. USD. What? 3,920,200 Vietnam dong. That's a lot, but it's only 100. And now 40 cents. Oh, Bitcoin. Wait. Bitcoin. That's a lot. No, Bitcoin. What about this thing? That's US dollar. Yeah, Bitcoin. What the frick? This is only a million and a million. 1 Bitcoin. It's 1. So poopy daisy. Okay, so I know now. So we know about a US dollar. Now 40 cents. Oopsie daisy. No. There's actually nothing I can look at, actually. Yeah, okay. But now let's continue to read. There's not much information I can read about. It seemed to make a much great difference in the price whether they were selling wheat or buying it. To be sure, as Mary said, there were freight charges at the back and elevator charges. Indians see fair even so. Anyways, they should pay the notes and the bank as soon as possible. Instead to do so, they could buy a book of coupons at a grocery store and give notes for that at only 2% a month. It was rather nice that the merchants they got those books with coupons from 25 cents to $25 or $50 books. It was convenient, it was cheaper interest. Said not but anything and she had told they would not have to. Somehow, I thought of it, the bride was in a note at the bank. But the bride was not stand in a way of saving of 1 cent. She would think more about it. Mary would do as she thought best about it. It was his business and she wasn't worried. As Brick turned at the corner, into a supper. The rest stopped at a grass got to supper like a boy's store. Every morning, Mary looked anxiously for signs of rain, and seeing none, went on about his work. And then the hot winds came. Every day the wind blew strongly up from the south. It spat on Laura's sheet like hot air over. She opened the door on baking day. For a week, the hot winds blew and when she stopped, young wheat and oats were ripe, brown and dead. The trees on the 10 acres were nearly all killed too. Many sighed, said that there was so already to have the trees grow to fulfill the lawful claims. They was had to prove up a secret dot. There was only one way to save the land. She could file on its preemption. If he did that, he must prove up in 6 months and pay the United States $1.35 an acre. Continuous residents would be no trouble, but they were already there. $200 cash at the end of the 6 months would be hard to find. But there was no other way. And many did not file on the land someone else would fall, and if it grew up, they would revert to government and be open to settlements for anyone. So many preempted the land. There was one advantage. Man did not have to work among the trees anymore. Here and there one would have to keep the land moist underneath and so help trees thrive. The cottonwood tree before a large Spanish window being north of the house had been protected from the full force of hot winds and from the sun. It was growing in spite of the rot. Lord of all its green branches that way, just outside of the glass as she went barefoot on the broad shelf before the window and washed the dishes there. No rain followed the windstorm, but often after that cyclone cloud would fall in the sky as it went away. It was cyclone weather. One sultry afternoon, Mary was in St. Peter gone with the sheep. Laura finished her work and she and Rose went out in the yard. Rose was playing with her play dishes under the cottonwood tree on the shady side of the house, while Laura actually watched the clouds move force habits and a real fear for she had become used to the danger of storms. The wind had been from the south strongly in the morning, but it died down. And now Laura noticed clouds building up in the north. There was a solid bank of blackness that before clouds rolled. Now the wind rose, blowing all from the south. Laura saw a reddish funnel-shaped cloud. Rob is going to wall ground for the wall black. The light turned to a greenish color. Seizing Rose, Laura's sand ran with her into the house. She quickly shut all the doors and windows before she ran into the pantry to look again for its window toward the storm. The point of the funnel had touched the ground and she could see the dust rise up. It passed over her feet and knew breaking and the strips of salt were lifting up her sides. Then it struck an old haystack. There was a blur and the stack disappeared. That funnel-shaped cloud was moving toward the house. Laura lifted the trap door in the pantry floor and taking Rose with the went quickly through its cellar, wrapping the door shut behind her. Holding Rose tightly, she cowered close in the corner into the darkness and listened to the wind shriek above them, expecting every second that the house would be lifted and carried away. But nothing happened. After what seemed hours, but that was really only a few minutes, she heard Mary's voice calling. Lifting the cellar door, Laura carried Rose up the stairs. She found Mary standing by his team in the yard, watching the store as it by eastward less, 1/4 mile north where they stood. He went to blowing over buildings and haystacks, powdered sprinkled rain fell on the polished doors. Many in town had seen the sun cry, and every old cigar and rose could not be alone. There were no more cyclones, but the weather continued hot and dry, and August was a fist, especially warm in the afternoon. Many sent Peter to bring Laura's mom, and at 4 o'clock she sent Peter again to the town. They saw a running pony for the doctor, but the sun was falling before the doctor could get there. Rose brought her baby. It was raised watching Rose was anything. Rose kept away from her mother for the sake of quietness. Her eyes were taking in fruit. And when Nora insisted, the girl brought Rose in. I said her rest easy and Sue could take an interest in the class from by side, knowing well from them what was going on. One day Peter came to the bedroom door to bid her good morning. He had stuck feather on his ass bed and his nodded above good-natured face. He would look so comical that Laura entered to see her talking to his pony called dogs. He knew the second she asked, "Oh my, what fancy answer? Dear me, he sees a sweet name. Keys it up is my duty. Pretty little posy. Pink candy, cherries or chan." And Peter and the sheep were gone till night. And they rose, played with the pets, lambs. They were so large that and went out with the sheep. But the two smallest along around the back door, and y'all could be fed. Wait. Oh. Let's continue. Laura went. She must hurry and get the shrink back. Rose wouldn't be meanly treated by any other girls besides the wages of $5 a week. The fire was fashionable in the kitchen stove. The summer field was old, soft, long, slow, and Mary had brought it off into the kitchen and put it down near the stove. As over the 15 minutes, Oak exactly was split, so the and Dorothy warrior. A strong wind was blowing from the side. By the time the neighbors brought the whole house was in flames. Many Peter had seen fire and cut onto the ground with a lot of hay. Laura had thrown 1 bucket of water onto the fire in the hay, and then now he sits down trying not to walk pump for more water, take a little deep pause to bed with Rose, but as he went, as it dropped on the ground to let off right before her house, burying her face underneath the screen and saucing over and over. That surely next year there will be a good crop here, said Lovestock. The 2 oldest cows were ready to sell in the spring. Some new comma to the legs that would be short ones out, and there was the jungle cords coming on. There were couples of steers ready to sell now. Oh, they decided to pitch out $13 a piece. And there was a sheep, twice as many as last year to keep. Some lambs and 6 old sheep to sell. By building the new house so cheaply, said money that to be paid for proving on the land. Baby sheep will answer. Everything will be all right even in town. You will see, Mary as he started for the bar. Started watching go, she thought. Yes, everything's even up in town. Rich every house in summer, but the poor in the air till winter and hours coming soon. Winter was coming on the inside of the roofs of the comfortable little as it would make him live fresh, start with nothing. The possessions would no more than matters for the debts. He just agreed to find a $200 move out in the land with theirs, and went Mary thought he could. It would be a fight to win as in his business of farming, but Shrenzy survived the spirits rising for a struggle. The incredible optimism of the farmer who throws his seed on the ground every spring, betting it in his time against the elements, seemed to inextricably to blend. with the creed of a pioneer forefather that it is better farther on, instead farther on in space, farther on in sound, over the horizon of the years ahead instead of the far horizon of the west. She was still a pioneer, and she could understand many stuff on the land to its appeal to herself. Oh well, on her side, some of her idea, her situation in the state of Mars will always be farmers for what is planted. The bone will come as in flesh, and the Lord's mouth Mandy was coming. The barn he was singing. So you talk of the Mars Australia. You they have wealth in red gold with adults, but they exploded from wars. If you only will show me that. Thank you very much for listening and reading with me. Have a nice day. See you soon.